Now, many players have a problem with alignment. You know, it's a very difficult game when you think about it. We're really sort of aiming almost out of one eye when I say that. You know, we're not facing the target and actually aiming as if we had a bow and arrow or a rifle. What we're really doing is standing to the side of the ball and aiming it out of our left eye. So it is quite a difficult task to get aimed up correctly, especially all parts of our body. You know, our feet, our knees, our hips, our shoulders, and our eyes on line to the target. So what I'd like to do is to show you maybe a little exercise that you want to work on when you're practicing. Now, it's not something you have to do all the time. No, alignment is one of those things that you can be correct for a time and then without realizing get a little out of position. So it's just something you want to do to check yourself. Right? Now, the most important line to establish is your target line. So what I'd like you to do is lay this club down, all right at your target now. So if you can sort of get behind the ball and make sure you get the club right at the target. We've got it about a foot or so behind the ball, because you're actually going to hit shots with that club still in position. So we want to make sure we have a little bit of room between the ball and the end of the club. Now, take this other one, place it your side of the ball, parallel to that one on the ground. Good. Now do the same thing with this club to the outside of the ball. Very good. Now, see, you've established sort of a little box effect here. You've got two clubs parallel to your original target line, and you're now in a position where you can start to establish some correct lines of address. All right. So, as we described earlier in the grip, we've got to get the club face square. So if you set yourself up, hold the club face out in front of you now. Hold the club straight out here. So we've got that club up at 12 o'clock here. Now simply place that club directly behind the ball there. And just look down at your target there. And when you look down at your target, what I suggest you do is sort of turn your eyes under that way, you see, so you can get yourself in a position where your eyes are parallel, because to all intents and purposes, you want to sense that your eyes, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your feet are all pretty much parallel to your target line. Okay?
It feels as if my right arm is a little bit above my left. Is that
yes, it'll probably feel that way, and that's fine. I say I'm not overly worried about that, because I think you tend to have your arm too tucked into this position here. So if you feel that your right arm is maybe a hair higher than your left, that's fine. So at the very least, you know, get them parallel to one another. Okay? Right, how does that feel? Do you think you can get used to that?
I think so. Obviously, I'm aimed correctly by the looks of the clubs.
You know, you really have to keep checking this alignment. It's something that it might be okay for a while, but then you've really got to make sure you check it. And I suggest that when you start your practice session, you might put these clubs down, hit some balls initially with that club behind there, so that you've really got an idea of where you are aimed up, because alignment's a funny thing. You know, you feel one day you are aimed correctly and you could be aimed yards off. So it's something that I really work on with the touring professionals, and something they're constantly checking themselves to make sure they are lined up to their target.